Don't you worry, don't you cry. I can promise it gets better in time. Keep your head up, keep your shine. Hold my hand up, it gets better in time.
Hi guys, I'm Ree. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, babe, hit the subscribe button because you're gonna wanna stay. If you're returning, hey besties, it's so good to see you guys again. So we are getting into another meal prep with Ree. I know I'm a day late, but just show your girl some grace, life been lifing. But I have 3 super quick, easy, and delicious meals that I wanted to share with you guys that have been helping me reach my health and fitness goals. I'm just gonna put the disclaimer on the screen. You already know the drill. I'm not a professional, okay? So I'm not telling you that these are the exact portions that you need to be eating. These are the exact stuff that you need to be taking and that our bodies are going to respond the same. They're not. I'm not telling you that. I'm just giving you guys some creative food inspiration to add to your meal plan so that eating healthy can really just be a better time than like being boring, because realistically sometimes eating healthy is boring, but it doesn't always have to be. All of my macros and stuff will be down below in the description box as well as on the screen. If you are someone that is triggered by calorie counting or macros, please just skip through that part. I will post them at the end of each recipe that I make. In this meal prep, I have 4 different recipes. Yes, 4. One of them is like a bonus, but you guys have been asking me for more breakfast recipes, and I really feel like I'm the worst person to ask because I don't be eating breakfast. But for this one, I threw it in there for you. I'm gonna be making some protein muffins. They're literally so easy. I used a boxed muffin mix, so for real, it was like super easy. I just added a scoop of protein powder in there. You'll see all that. And then I'm making a quick and easy steak salad. The only thing you really had to cook there was the meat. This was like a pretty chill meal prep because there was like minimal tedious cooking. You know what I mean? Like you can just put stuff in the oven, you can just sear up some steak and call it a day. The third recipe I made is the salad that has been literally saving my life. It's an Italian sub or an Italian hoagie inspired salad minus the bread, because you know your girl really isn't big on bread. Don't judge me, I know. Just if that's a deal breaker for you, try to overlook it, okay? And then the last meal is this white chicken chili. When I tell you you're gonna wanna make it immediately, you're going to want to. I was so sick that I literally waited this long to try it. It was 10 out of 10. The recipe will be linked down below in the description box. If you guys have any specific questions, please let me know. You can also shop on my Amazon storefront for any of my meal prep containers, because I know I get those questions, as well as the size of my mason jars. All of them are linked down below in my Amazon storefront, so please take a look at that. I'm not even gonna get into too much else. I'm just gonna let you get right into the food because I know that's what you came here to see. So yes, let's get into it. Let's get into this meal prep. Okay, so to get into this meal prep, I'm finally giving y'all a breakfast because a lot of people have been asking me for more breakfast recipes, to be honest, but I'm the worst person to ask because I don't really eat breakfast. My body's just not hungry first thing in the morning, but these muffins are perfect to take on the go, and it's a boxed mix, so really, you're not doing too much. I'm using the Simple Mills almond flour, pumpkin muffin, and bread baking mix. I'm following the directions on the box. I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1/2 cup of water, and 3 eggs as instructed. Now, me personally, I struggle with getting my protein in for the day, so you'll see in a little bit that I'm going to add a full serving of my chocolate plant-based protein powder. I use the Owen Dark chocolate flavored protein powder, and the muffins turned out perfect. So you get your protein while also being able to satisfy your sweet tooth by having a sweet treat. The protein powder is definitely optional, and you don't have to use chocolate. The only other one I had in the house was my Alani Nu cookies and cream, and I was like, I don't think that really would mix. You can't taste the chocolate at all, but I am going to throw on some chocolate chips on the top for a little razzle dazzle, because y'all know what it is. Anytime I want something sweet, it's got to be chocolate in it, because if it's chocolate, it's for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add all the ingredients to a large mixing bowl and mix it up using a whisk until everything is thoroughly combined. It really looks kind of like almond butter, as you'll see. It smelled so good and tastes so good. It tastes like spiced pumpkin, and it's so good. So I'm going to be making 12 muffins. Well, the intention was to make 12 muffins, but you know, thank the Lord for edits. I kind of messed one up and I had to throw it away. But I'm just using some brown paper liners. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. It's just easier cleanup for me. And I'm going to go ahead and use a 1/3 cup scoop to scoop in the batter. Again, in a second, you're going to see that I did take one out because I ran out of batter because I had to throw one away. I'm just putting a little bit of water in the little empty slot. That way it doesn't burn up. And then of course we're adding the chocolate chips on top because that's the star of the show. And then we're going to pop in the oven at at 350 degrees. I think it was for about 17 to 22 minutes. Whatever the box says, that's what you go on. Super easy, super quick, just pop them in and leave them alone. I mean, of course, still set your timer, but you know, you don't have to check on them. You will smell them, you will know that they are done, and they literally make your house smell like the holidays. Like, I know it's almost Christmas, but my house was giving Thanksgiving, like those warm pie spices, it was giving. Okay, so moving on to my next meal, I'm getting into a super quick and easy, super simple steak salad with a bunch of veggies. I kept the seasonings very, very simple. The cut of meat I'm using is a sirloin steak, which are like kind of getting expensive. I mean, everything is getting expensive with inflation and everything, but I don't know. If it wasn't this good, I wouldn't be spending the money. But anyway, I think I spent like $10 on it, which maybe it might be not a lot to y'all, but it's a lot to me. Anyway, so I kept my seasoning super simple, of course, with my spicy Montreal Grill Mate seasoning because it's the best kind, a little bit of onion powder and black pepper, and then I'm just going to sear it in a non-stick skillet over medium-high heat. I did spray it with a little bit of spray olive oil, and I'm just going to cook it until it is medium well. You know how I feel about pink meat, but you know what, use your own discretion here. And I just got a good sear on both sides, and then I'm going to take it out and allow it to rest until I'm ready to cut into it. As you see, I'm about to start making a mess trying to assemble this salad, but I'm using a bed of spring mix. There's just something about the colors and the textures that just give. Then I'm going to top it off with a little bit of yellow bell pepper, a few slices of red onion, some finely chopped cucumbers, a little bit of reduced fat blue cheese crumbles, and then of course I'm topping it off with 5 ounces of the steak, a little bit of avocado, and then I'm using the Simply 60 balsamic vinaigrette. Has 60 calories per 2 tablespoons, which is absolutely perfect, and this is the meal. Okay, another salad that has been having me in a chokehold is this kind of Italian hoagie or Italian sub inspired salad. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of bread, so the salad is perfect. It's literally everything on the inside that I would get on a regular sub, Italian sub, and it's 10 out of 10. So I'm just layering in some yellow bell pepper, a little bit of red onion, some Kalamata olives, a few banana peppers, some thinly sliced cucumbers, and then for my proteins, I have oven roasted turkey, salami, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Feel free to get creative with your toppings. This is just what I like per se. And then I'm topping it off with some spring mix because that is just my lettuce of choice for any salad. I don't know. I just love the texture, love the taste, and I just feel like it just complements the salad so well. This dish right here, I'm really excited about it because I've been wanting to try it for the longest time, but I'm going to be making a white chicken chili. And when I tell you, you're going to want to go and run to the store immediately and grab every single ingredient and make it. I'm not even joking. So let me just go ahead and get into all the ingredients. I'm going to be using some no sodium chicken stock, 2 cans of Great Northern beans or white beans, a cup of frozen corn, a whole yellow onion, a few tablespoons of garlic, 1 can of chopped green chilies, salt of course to taste, bay leaves because I just feel like they make dishes extra savory and taste like they've been cooking all day when they really haven't, some cumin, chili powder, black pepper, and of course some paprika for a little bit of color. And then I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which is what the recipe calls for. It will be linked down below in the description box. I'm just adding an additional chicken breast in here for more protein, but this is everything that we're going to be using. And now it's just a matter of opening all these cans, prepping all of my veggies, and putting everything in a pot and letting it go. You guys don't know disappointment until you see how I realize that my crock pot is too small and I have to throw it in the pot. So I'm just layering 3 of my chicken breasts in here, a whole onion, 1 cup of frozen corn, and I'm about to start pouring the chicken broth in here, but I still have so much more to add in this crock pot, and I literally realize I'm like, I can't fit everything in here. So if you have a normal like adult size crock pot, feel free to continue to keep adding all of your stuff into the crock pot. I don't know why I thought this little baby miniature one was going to do it, but I had to transfer it over to a pot where I followed up with the rest of my cans and spices. One thing that the recipe did call for that I did not add was beer. So instead of adding a cup of beer, I ended up adding an additional cup of chicken broth. Like I said, the recipe, I'll have it on the screen. It will also be down below in the description box. And then finally, I'm just going to give it a good mix, add my bay leaves in, and allow it to cook on the stove until the chicken breasts are cooked really tender and all of my veggies got nice and soft. I want to say about an hour has gone by and this soup cooked down really quickly. The chicken got done really quickly as well. Now I'm just going to start removing the chicken from out of the pot so that I can shred it, because I don't just want these big chunks of chicken breast in there. And then I'm also going to take out about 1/3 of the soup with a good amount of the beans and corn, and I'm going to place them into my blender and blend it so that I have a thicker chili base instead of like a soup like this broth is on top. So I'm going to go ahead and place some of the soup into my NutriBullet and give it a good blend. You guys most definitely need to be better than me, because I knew better. I know better. I know that you're not supposed to put hot soup in a blender and blend it. You're asking for trouble. And the good thing that there are edits, because the way my blender almost exploded when I took the top off, there was soup everywhere. But anyway, so I blended it off camera, not to embarrass myself, even though I just gave myself away. And then I'm gonna go ahead and really quickly shred up the chicken. This did not take long at all. It was literally so soft. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add that soup that I blended after I finally cleaned up my kitchen, because girl, it was a mess, absolutely a mess. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good mix, add my chicken back in, and allow to simmer just for a little bit so that the broth or the soup base kind of gets more like a chili consistency. And I let it sit back on the stove for about another 45 minutes until I was ready to eat it. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time to spoon up a good healthy portion of this chili. It is so good. Now I know I told you guys I don't really like cilantro, but I think the cilantro really made this dish. I'm adding it with a few pieces of cilantro, a little bit of jalapeno, 1/4 of an avocado or 1/4 of an avocado, and a little lime wedge. And baby, this chili was so good. It made me mad that I didn't try it sooner, because it's been on my Pinterest board for meal prepping forever. And then of course, just to give it a little extra bit of oomph, I guess, I'm adding some of my favorite tortilla chips, which are the Tostitos Hint of Lime ones. Woo! Y'all get on it. It was so good, so fire. For the rest of the chili, I'm just going to pop them in my mini mason jars and then just keep them in the fridge. They held up perfectly for 5 days in the fridge. I had no problems at all. This is going to conclude this week's meal prep. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also be sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you can be notified every time your girl drops a new video. And until next time, babes, I'll see you in my next.